I have been a Playboy for the last 4 years since I got broken up with at 19. This is going to be my honest experience being a Playboy, giving you the 13 pros and cons that I've personally experienced in my journey. Starting with the first pro, which is gaining a ton of experience and confidence with women. When I was younger, before 19, I had no competence or confidence with women in any regard. I was always so shy, nervous, anxious. I had so many struggles that always sabotaged me in every single stage of dating, whether I was trying to start a conversation, going on dates, or if I was lucky seeing a girl at some point, I would always manage to mess it up because I had no experience overall. Seeing a girl was far and few in between, so it was this big scary thing for me where over the last few years, it's just been consistently seeing girls, talking to thousands of them, sleeping with a bunch of them, going on tons of dates, building some short-term connections. That has been what I've been doing for the last 4 years, and this has developed a new level of competence and confidence that's allowing me just to be the best, most calm, confident, charismatic version of myself when I hang out with a girl, whether I'm just meeting her on my second, third date. No matter what stage of dating I'm in, hanging out around girls is now my new comfort zone. And boys, if you want this as well, if you want to develop true internal confidence that will radiate around women, you need to be pushing your comfort zone. And that is one of the many steps I give away in my confidence transformation guide that's allowed me to go from that shy, insecure kid to the outgoing, confident man I am today. That's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. And now the first con, which is that you actually don't have that much sex compared to being in a relationship. When I was in that relationship at 19 with the girl who broke my heart, we were having sex anywhere from 2 to 5 times a day over the course of that relationship, every single day. I don't have a single time where every single day I've had sex that's in these last 4 years. There's not been a significant period of time over like a month where I've had that. I get with girls on the weekends consistently, and there's occasionally times when I can see a girl during the week, but being someone who is extremely busy running a business, I don't have time to just hang out with girls during the week all the time like I did before I started a business and had entrepreneurial ventures 2 years ago. Sure, I could book things during the week, but I also had nothing else going on in my life besides hanging around girls. So you don't really get to have as much sex as if you were to have a relationship or more meaningful connections. Those were the times when I was a Playboy, when I had like shorter term meaningful connections, that I had a bit more sex. So if you're just gonna be sleeping around with girls having one night stands, you actually have way less sex. And the next pro is you learn to read people extremely quickly. See, over the last few years of having talked to thousands of girls, trying to sleep with a lot of them, you quickly learn to pick up on things. And also having studied communication, sales, learning nonverbal communication, you'll see when people do little things that allows you to interpret how they're thinking and feeling, which when I was younger, I was absolutely clueless to. And it's only been through this process of having so many conversations, trying to get with these girls, seeing how they react to different things in this journey, that I've really been able to piece together reading people between their verbal and nonverbal communication as a whole. And this takes us to the second lesson, which kind of piggybacks off of this. The second pro here is you're going to be toughened up by dealing with a lot of the BS that happens in this journey. You are going to get so many close calls. Like, I'll give you the closest call that really upset me was one time in Florida. I brought 2 girls home. They were in my bed naked, just in underwear. And I thought I was going to have a threesome, and it fell through last minute. And I was so disappointed. That was some BS. And each one of these experiences is going to teach you something. There's been another time where the first night in Norway, second night, when I was in Norway, this girl was all over me, the most attention, validation I'd ever received. And at the end of the night, when I asked her to come home with me, she closed up, body language changed. She was like, she was talking to her friend, and I just knew something was off. And I was just, once her friend kind of gave me the answer, I was like, yeah, no worries. Have a great night, guys. I'm going to go home. It's just, you learn to pick up on so many little things, but it wouldn't be that way if you weren't out there constantly pursuing girls. So you're going to deal with a lot of BS, but it's going to really toughen you up and allow you to read people. Those two lessons go hand in hand. And the next con is that you're going to lack connection with girls a lot of the time. If you're a charismatic, charming guy, you can definitely get them to open up and have a really fun experience, even if it's just for a night. But you're not going to have that level of connection that you have when you have a relationship or you're seeing someone longer term, where you really get to know each other, all the things that you like, dislike, and you can just have someone to be around all the time. You're not going to get that when you're a Playboy. If you're always seeing new girls, if you're always chasing new ones, you're going to get a lot of the experience like we're talking about, but you're not going to get the same level of connection. And this next pro is quite interesting, which is that I've developed a level of security around knowing that I can get girls, having been with so many, that I just didn't have when I was younger. There's a level of security in my mind knowing that I have been with so many girls. I know I can replicate this process after having done it so many times, that I've made girls like me, want to be with me, all this stuff. There's a level of security in that. I might not have the same level of security in knowing that I can have relationships, but at least I know I can get girls. And to actually transition into a relationship at this point isn't too difficult. I built meaningful relationships in other areas of my life. So that's not the biggest concern, but there's a really strong level of security knowing that I can consistently get new girls. It's not going to take me forever to find new girls. If I come to a new city, like when I went to Norway, before I left, I had so many things going. In just this short month, I built up such a strong pipeline, just being after it tenaciously. And that's just something that I can rest easy knowing that I can always build a dating life for myself very quickly. And this next con is starting to get to me after 4 years, which is you are always out searching for new girls. This can get so tiring, having to go out and party all the time, drink. It definitely takes an effect on your health a little bit. And it can just be really tiring to constantly know every single weekend if you want girls, you have to go out and get them. You definitely build up a pipeline, and there's some girls you can see consistently. And like this last weekend on Friday, I saw a girl who I'd hung out with and slept with the year before. But it's like you're always out in that nightlife setting, always partying, always socializing, which is fun. But after a bit, it can get tiring, and sometimes you might just want to have a relaxing night at home or a movie or go to dinner with a girl, and you don't really get to do that as much as a Playboy. Yeah, you get to go on dates and all that fun stuff, but not just like the one where you're really relaxed, it's with your girl who you've been with for some time. You kind of miss out on that experience, and you're always out kind of constantly chasing and pursuing new girls, and that can be fun, but it also can get kind of tiring at times. And this next pro is actually the reason why you're seeing me here today on YouTube talking to you, is because I have leveraged the success that I have gotten with girls and the self-belief I've cultivated to take on bigger challenges in life. So the first thing I did in my journey at 19 was I dopamine detoxed. I cut out all instant gratification activities and incorporated delayed ones that started to improve my mental health and make me the best version of myself. And after building trust in my word, I leveraged that to be like, okay, let me tackle socially and getting girls. And I accomplished that. And I was like, holy shit, I can get all these girls. I'm actually decent socially. Let me take on a sales job. And I was shit, but I learned sales, and then I was able to have success with sales, start a sales agency business, and now here I am on YouTube. And I've had this continuous process of developing self-belief and pushing it further and further in different things and areas in life, new things to tackle. So that has been huge for me. I have used girls to learn that I can accomplish anything, and it's this thing that a lot of people want. And I was like, okay, well, I can learn social skills. I can learn what I need to learn in order to get girls and develop what I need to in order to become attracted to them and have success with them. And that cultivated a lot of self-belief for me back when I was 19, 20. And this next con is definitely going to be relatable to a lot of you. I hear it from a lot of my coaching clients who are Playboys as well, is you waste a lot of time. If you're trying to go on dates during the week, it is going to take away a lot of time that you could be focusing on your personal development, on your business. It just takes up a lot of time to be a Playboy and constantly have new girls that you're seeing instead of just having a girl that maybe you saw after work because you're comfortable with each other. So you're always wasting time going on dates, trying to do stuff, weekends are partying. It takes up a lot of time to be a Playboy, and that's the biggest thing that I've noticed. It's a big detriment to business and just life in general, is always out there pursuing girls. And this next pro is a really cool way that you can develop character traits as a man. So my younger self was scared to talk to girls. And that's exactly what I did, was I talked to every single girl that I found attractive. And this is the essence of courage, is acting when you are fearful. So I used talking to girls to overcome my fears and push my comfort zone and develop myself into the man I am today, that is substantially more fearless than I was when I was younger. So I was able to develop character traits through women. And this next con can be quite dangerous, which is that you're never going to be satisfied. You're always going to want hotter girls. The grass always seems greener on the other side. So this past Friday, I got with one of the most attractive girls who I've been with. I'd been with her the year prior, and we'd been kind of DMing this year for about a month now before this Friday happened. But then just the next day comes around, and I'm in the club once again and seeing new attractive girls who I want to get with. And it's just this continual cycle of being like, once you've attained her, you kind of lose that whole that spark that you had before you get her, that chase. And then you want the next hot girl that you can find. And it just keeps going and going and going. And this actually does lead to one of the pros though, which is that you are going to humanize girls. So that girl in my mind was so attractive. She is still. I've been with her on two different years now. But you kind of humanize a girl once you've been with her. And once you've been with enough attractive girls, you can really just start to see that they are just like you. They have all the same issues, challenges in life. They have a lot of insecurities as well. Nothing really makes them that unique and special. They're very much human just like you. And this will allow you to be a lot less nervous and actually be calm and confident when talking to girls. And this last con I had to learn the hard way, which is that you can develop a reputation for being a playboy very quickly, especially if you're in a small city. So this happened to me in the hometown where my mom grew up, where I am currently right now recording this video. The town is about 60,000 in terms of its population, maybe slightly bigger with the outskirts. But in the first year I came here, I slept with 7 girls. The second year, about like 9 or 10. And then by that point, the third year came around in the third summer, and my reputation was sealed. So girls, they wouldn't take me seriously as anything more than a one-night stand. So I could get a couple one-night stands, but they kind of just ended things there, knowing my reputation, and it kind of started to work against me, especially because in the early days, I was just getting out there. I didn't have my game in terms of like my bedroom game on lock, so I was still feeling things out. I wasn't the best in bed, and now, especially as I get older and I have more experience, having great bedroom game has caused me to be able to get with, like, for example, that girl on Friday this next year from the last year, because I had my bedroom game on lock. But when my bedroom game wasn't on lock and they're like, yeah, I slept with this guy, he wasn't that good in bed, it doesn't help you out, and you can develop a bad reputation pretty quickly. So it's something you have to be careful of. But just to actually turn this, into something that can be a pro, just for your knowledge, is that if you do give great performances, you can actually use the Playboy reputation to your benefit. You just want to be a really nice, fun guy, and if you give great performances in bed, other girls will want to sleep with you. So like if that girl goes back and tells her friends, oh my god, I got with this guy, it was the best time ever, I came like 5 times. Then when her friends get the opportunity to get with you, maybe something happens between the friend groups. This happens all the time. Then she'll take that opportunity and you'll just have an easy in because she heard of your reputation that was good. So reputation control is extremely important. That's the last thing I want to leave you with. And once again, boys, if you want my confidence transformation guide that took me from a shy, insecure kid to the outgoing, confident man I am today, that's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below.